I mean, as we all witnessed on Monday, it's the same stuff up for approval today for the Deriva Sullivan County Power Project. So there's 3 agreements for the commissioners to consider. The first of which is the amendment to the Economic Development Agreement, the original one of which was approved in December 2022. The original one is the one that set out all of the terms for the EDA payments to the county, abatement, and that sort of thing. In the time that has passed since then, the company has slightly changed 2 things really that are addressed by the EDA, one of which is the project site area. So some parcels are no longer included that were in the original map, and they've added some others. And then the construction timeline has been pushed back a little bit, and they anticipate to start that later this summer. And previously the anticipated, end date or cutoff date for starting construction was this past December. So it's just been slightly adjusted in terms of dates and timings of certain obligations relative to that delay in construction, which was due to MISO and other interconnection issues that were outside their control.
Right, correct.
And the other agreement then, there's the road use agreement and the decommissioning agreement. The forms of these had originally been approved back in 2022, but they had not been executed yet because they were not required to be executed until a certain amount of time prior to construction.
Correct.
Now that the company knows, has a much more clear idea of when they're going to be starting construction, they're ready to enter into those agreements with just a couple of dates changed here and there, again, for the same reasons as in the EDA. And then in the road use agreement, a handful of provisions were updated to keep it in line with the changes that have been made to that Maple Creek agreement that you guys just approved on Monday.
Correct.
Most of which were in response to, having gone through the construction process already for 2 projects, learning from that and making updates as needed.
Correct. Anything else, Hannah?
Nope, that's all I got. So if you want to have whatever discussion, there would be then a resolution that you would need to vote on approving the agreements, and then if adopted, then you can sign them.
Okay, yeah. We have a Anna here and we have a Hannah. And there's some confusion on addressing. So, Hannah, are you done then?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Anna, you can see what you were going to say.
Nope, that was just it.
Okay.
I had the 4 documents.
Okay, we have to approve that resolution to sign the documents, is that correct? Is that the way I read? Okay. So, a lot of discussion, a lot of work's been going on behind the scenes this last week. I appreciate the work that everybody has put into this. So we have before us the request to sign these documents, and I think the first item is to sign the resolution and approve it. Is that correct? Is that the way I'm understanding this?
The first thing I have is the First Amendment to EDA.
Okay, but do we have to, you said something about a resolution, Hannah with an H?
Yeah, so the resolution, there's one resolution that in one document authorizes the commissioners to execute all 3 of those agreements.
Okay.
So if you approve the resolution, it would authorize the execution of the EDA amendment, the road use agreement, and the decommissioning agreement.
Okay, I wanted separate action on these, that's why I wanted to make sure. Okay, do I have any discussion on this resolution?
What was the resolution for?
Explain that again, Hannah, with an H. The resolution?
It approves the forms of the agreements that are before you, and authorizes small changes here and there as the attorney sees fit and as the county sees fit, but they're in substantially final form, and so you'd be approving the forms of the EDA amendment, road use agreement, and decommissioning agreement, and then authorizing the signing of them.
Okay, Brent's looking them over real quick.
And this was the original agreement with the amendments from 2022, correct?
What's before you should be the amendment to EDA. So it doesn't have the full EDA document from 2022. It
Right.
just contains the few things that have been changed.
Okay, Brent's just looking at the This is the resolution.
No, that's the First Amendment to EDA.
That's
Brant
correct.
has
Brant has the resolution.
the resolution.
Yeah. Brant has the resolution.
Gotcha.
Okay. Any discussion? Anything else? Okay. Do I have a motion to sign the resolution? Okay, I have a motion, a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, a motion and a second, all in favor, sign the resolution? Okay. Do we want separate action on all of these documents? Hannah, would it be the best to do that?
I mean, once you approve the resolution, that authorizes you to execute them, so you don't need to take another formal action unless you want to for whatever, personal preference or standard procedure is, but legally speaking, you're good to go. We'll
Okay.
just need you to sign those.
I think we just want a motion to sign the rest of these documents to go along with it.
Can I ask what the resolutions, what the amendments are?
Hannah, can you explain those amendments a little better than I can?
I mean, what do they pertain to?
Yeah, so, again, the EDA amendment, so it's kind of more of like making some technical corrections just because of the delayed construction timeline being different than what the original EDA contemplated. So it sets out a new construction timeline that starts in July of this year rather than, July of 2024. I forget what the original anticipated start date was, but and then changes a couple of deadlines accordingly. So, provision of the guarantee now has to be by March 30th rather than, 90 days prior to construction, just to keep things moving along and making sure that they're providing the county the protections it needs prior to construction starting. And then it authorizes like the map attached to the project site to be replaced if the council approves like the ERA changes later on. So it's just replacing like the map exhibit and then making some of those date changes are the key things.
I'd just say, this is Brendan Andrew, but Hannah, if you can hear me, but just the one other thing, and one of the big reasons to need to amend it is just the name change as well. So Sullivan County Power getting the agreement in the name of the right entity, because it was originally signed.
Sure, yeah, I mean, it does clearly state that, but that wouldn't be like required to have an amendment just for that. But it does clarify that the project is now Sullivan County Power as the assignee of Turtle Creek Solar.
Right, and I guess one other thing is just the resolution that was passed in January, just ensuring that it's clear that the requirements of the EDA acknowledge satisfaction of that resolution to start construction, right?
Correct. So, any other comments or questions from anybody?
I just wanted to make sure you weren't changing any of the decommissioning regulations or anything
The
like that.
decommissioning and the road use, I think, have been established. We just hadn't put them in place yet. Nothing changed there.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah, if anything, the road use agreement has been improved for the county's benefit, just to reflect, stuff
what
Gary and the commissioners have learned
we've learned
from
on
the
the
inventor
other projects,
deconstruction
yes.
process,
The
so.
gravel roads, yes, okay. Yeah, we did upgrade that, so. All right, do I have any more comments about the rest of these paperwork? If not, I'll entertain a motion to sign these other documents.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion, got a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay.
Maybe while you guys are signing that, I'll just quickly stand up, and I just want to reiterate, Bob, what you said, thanking everybody for their time and collaboration, especially some of the folks in the back of the room, Brent and Bri, and also Jim and Joe, who aren't here, but there were, hours of time spent together over the last few days, working through, various issues and coming to, kind of consensus on a path forward. So I really want to thank everybody that's here and thank you for your support. And we're really excited to get the project going, and likewise for the commissioners for scheduling this special meeting, taking time out of your calendars. I know it's not,
Had some late night phone calls.
and some late night, one or two. But yeah, just really wanted to thank everybody, and yeah, we're just impressed upon you that we're excited to get this project going, and we really do think this is gonna be a tremendous benefit for the county, just in terms of the jobs, and the investment, EDA payments, all of that. So thank
Okay.
you all for that.
Thank you very much, I appreciate your time. Guys, that's what we came here to do today. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, a motion, a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody, from